Beautiful. Why cuddle one and carve the other?
So I guess I'd have to ask, like, is this like a moral argument from your side? So it's
Yes.
like feelings based and
I wouldn't say
subjective or
feelings
objective?
based, but I am using your moral framework, not mine. So I'm asking in your moral framework, why do you cuddle one of these babies but want to carve the other?
I think yeah. So I think domesticating any pet was silly. I think that was like a status symbol, like a wealth symbol originally.
I don't disagree
I
with
think
you
that
there.
was I think that was silly. Like I've got to admit straight off the bat that like I'm a dairy farmer, so I've got 600 Jersey cattle, 3,000
Wait,
sheep,
wait, wait.
two
So you're
Scottish
against?
Highlands.
I just want to, just because it sounds funny. You said that you're against the domestication of animals, but you have a ton of
Yeah,
domesticated
for
animals.
pets. I said for pets. I said domesticating
I
pets.
mean,
I
what's the
mean, like
difference,
just
right? They're
follow.
still
But
being used.
there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Okay,
There's a big
go
difference.
ahead.
So when I say words, like I am pretty careful about the words I use and how I like structure them. So like to misstate me frustrates me a little bit because it's a little bit disingenuous straight off the bat. We've only been talking for 1 minute, so I definitely said to domesticate pets. So
You did say that.
I believe that I understand that a lot of farms aren't great, don't have great practices. Like I can vouch. I'm a live streamer, so I can vouch that like our cows are spoiled. Like our cows are galloping and running to me when I walk in the paddock. They have no problem walking into the parlor. They absolutely love it, and they love their life. If they were left alone in the wild, they would be lame. They would have mastitis. They would be in a lot of trouble. So like
Yeah,
I
but the
think that
question is,
if
how
there
did they
is,
get there?
how did they get to my farm?
Yeah,
They were born. They were born here.
yeah, they were forced bred and they were selectively bred so that they overproduce things
Well,
that you want.
to be fair, we just put our bulls out. I just uploaded a video the other day. Actually, our
Right.
bulls, it's
Again. So if
mating.
we did the same thing with humans, we would call that something.
So what we would do is we would put humans into the equivalent of a farm, which would be a civilization, like city society, and then they would, if wanted and if their
They
nature
are
wanted,
not
they
in
would
a
breed. That's
society.
exactly what we do. No, 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 but that's exactly
No.
what we do. They're in
Okay,
a
so what's the
society. They're in
difference
a
between a slaver having slaves if not creating their own society then?
I will
because
say that it's selective breeding. I mean, that's the genetic manipulation to make domestic animals and all the different types of domestic animals that we see today. I mean, there's so many different breeds of cows just within the dairy, let alone the beef, like arc. So, I mean, selective breeding, people are very, very careful where their animals are breeding to because they want to develop
oh
that wild.
beef. I can't speak on beef because I don't do beef farming. So like that's dry
Oh,
stock.
then where do the
That's
boys
different
go?
than dairy. But the boys, oh, they go to either a processing plant to be like grown until they're large enough to be to that, or if they are undesirable at all, then they just straight away that happens. Like they may be alive for 20 minutes and then that happens.
You think that's moral?
Yeah, I see no problem with it. I think
Okay.
it's more moral than
What
I think it's
morally
more moral than
justifies it?
raising it. I think it's okay. I think it's more
I
moral
mean,
than
you
raising
shouldn't be
it
breeding
with no
them.
need.
You shouldn't be forced breeding them. You're making another being that has to be dependent on humans to be taken care of. And they overproduce, so even if they escape their slaver, they hardly have a chance to survive as they're wasting energy that you made them do. So you're
But
enslaving someone
they're
and
gonna
you've
breed.
crippled them.
So do you think while in the wild before cows were domesticated, do you think they never bred, and do you think they never
I thought they bred
um
and they only had enough milk for their young. So they didn't waste energy because when you waste energy in nature, you have to
Oh,
gain it
you're
again.
seriously
And
misled
that's
then. No,
hard.
no, no. A cow's milk production does not depend on its hormones or feelings. It depends on the amount of food that goes into its mouth. There is no other
It
application
also
to that.
depends on genetics.
Yeah, I was like,
The
you're
reason
forgetting
horse,
about the
yeah.
manipulation. God, sorry, Lydia.
Like if you're trying to tell me that a cow will produce 2 liters of milk per day because that's all its calf requires, then you're absolutely crazy.
I mean, more natural breeds like bison and such, just
Do you
produce.
know how much?
But they're saying
Do you
that
know how
dairy
much
cows.
average dairy cow produces without any genetics? Just your average run-of-the-mill runt dairy cow with no, that's just random bull, random cow. Do you know how much? How many
They're
liters?
They're
still
still a
select.
dairy breed. They're still a selectively bred dairy breed.
It's not. No, 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 no.
Like,
But
there's no like
it's not a
random
dairy
dairy
breed,
cow.
man.
You're
Like,
going to have dairy breeds. Like, whether you combine them, like they're still
okay,
specifically
okay,
cows.
okay, okay. I
But I
don't
mean,
normally like to step outside of Western
you could
society, but
milk.
well,
I
let's
guess
go to
you
the Middle
can.
East then. Let's go to the Middle East where they don't dairy their cows and they don't
No,
butcher
let's
them, right?
not.
Let's go there.
Let's not.
Like,
Because
I think you're
actually,
misunderstanding what I'm saying. It's just the breeding cows, and there's many different types of dairy breeds and breeds who are also good for, I guess, what they say, meat and dairy. Like, there's a combination. But we're saying that genetically, these animals have been selectively bred to produce more than average than like what wild bison would.
So that's incorrect. They don't. They've been genetically
I mean,
bred, selectively bred to pick out certain genetics to make hoof traits better, so that they don't get lame, so that they don't suffer. To make udder control better, so they don't get mastitis and other things. Like, you guys actually don't know what you're talking about. You've just heard a few things. I'm a farmer. Like, come on,
I
man.
mean, they selectively bred. Like, the Holstein cow's udders get so big, I've never seen a bison have an udder like a Holstein cow. There's genetics involved.
You've never seen. You've never seen, or it's not possible.
it's not possible. In the wild, you have to conserve your energy. To overproduce milk and eggs and anything else is a waste of energy.
Like, so you think that a cow's like, all right, I've just produced like two quarts of milk, and that's all I need to feed my baby today. Better turn the tap off. Like,
No,
is
I
that
think
seriously what you think happens?
I think they evolved to produce what they needed to, and we took a hold of them and manipulated their genetics. That's what I think happened.
Oh, that's what you think happened. Oh, that's cute, but that's not what happened. The cows
It
have
doesn't
always.
matter what happened because today we know that humans
Oh,
can
no, it
thrive on
doesn't
a
matter.
plant-based diet. We know that humans can thrive on a plant-based diet. So it's unnecessary to use animals at all. And in fact, we would feed the whole population and more if we stopped wasting our resources on enslaving sentient beings for taste pleasure.
He's being
Ma'am, with all due
disingenuous,
respect,
though. No,
Yeah,
you're being
I know.
disingenuous, though. Like,
Yeah, I'm kind of
you're denying that selective breeding happened to make dairy cows happen and to make specifically meat cows happen. And
Yeah.
I used to have both cattle. We did not let our meat cows crossbreed with our dairy cows because the offspring were not the same line. It's selective breeding. You're not just throwing all of your cows out in one meadow and just letting whoever breed who. There's a very selective process. Like, some of these bulls are studded out for thousands of dollars to get their sperm for artificial insemination. They want specific breeding lines.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Honestly,
no,
a
he
little
was just being
delulu to think.
disingenuous. It was just that's
Yeah. I had someone once tell me that they were catching wild chickens, and I'm like, if they're producing eggs every day, those were not wild chickens. Those were someone's chickens that they let go. That is not natural.